Hi everyone, my name's Anna. Welcome to Card Making Project 552. Now today's card stems from something that I actually thought about, and when I looked at the cards behind me that I get so many comments about, and they're actually old projects. I'm saying old projects. They're the projects that we've had over the last couple of months, and I just keep, every time we've recorded something and we've made something and it's been released, I just add it to the back and then move them around a little bit, and I get emails about where are the projects and I want to see this card or that card, and they're all on the blog, so please be sure to check it out. But I was looking at these cards and I thought, do you know what, I do favour gold cardstock. Looking at them, and I thought, and it's nothing that I've done consciously, but I've been looking and I thought, you know, it does look like I favour gold cardstock. So today's card, I made a determined effort to use silver cardstock, and today's is a beauty. It's quite a simple card. When I say simple, it's quite a quick and easy card, but it's the way that the layers are put together, and we combine two different dyes that work extremely well together. Nice and simple and easy, and I hope you'll see that from the video. Everything I do use I should put in a detail list on my blog, so please be sure to check it out. I've been asked about item numbers as well. I try and add the item numbers for both HSN and QVC UK, because I try to use everything that's been in the UK. There are a couple of items that I tend to use sometimes that I picked up last year when I was in the States. However, I always mention that if that's the case. Sometimes if it's an older item, there won't be an item number available for it. One of the items that we use today is an older item, and it's a large fretwork die. There is no item number for that. However, I'm sure a lot of you will recognise it. And if you don't have it, you can always substitute it and use one of your newer dies that you have, because I'm sure there's so many from your stash that will work equally as well. So if you see the video and you enjoy it, please give me the thumbs up. Please don't hesitate to contact me and show me your crafty creations, because I love seeing them. I love hearing that you're enjoying the videos and they help. Now, I don't want people to feel overwhelmed either, and I'm hoping that the way that I create things do help, whether you're a novice crafter or whether you're an advanced crafter, and it just gives you an idea of using something in a different way. So basically, check the blog for photos, both inside and outside of the card, and I really hope you enjoy this card. So please sit back, relax, and let's have a look at today's gorgeous project. For today's tutorial, we're going to be using the Anna Griffin Ornate fretwork die. Now this is an older item, and I've probably even got the name wrong for it, but it is a very gorgeous and ornate die. If for any reason you don't have this, I'm sure you will have some of the frames or ornate fretwork dies that Anna has as well. They would work equally as well. Then we're going to be using the mini French fan dies. This one in particular, we're going to use not only the ornate layer, but we're going to use the shadow layer as well. And then I'm quite excited because I'm going to get to use my favourite ever set of stamps. These are the Anna Griffin chalkboard stamps, and for some reason I fell in love with these years and years and years ago. I try not to use them so much because I feel I overuse them, so I just go back to them every now and then. I'm going to be using the congratulations stamp. Now mine are very well loved, so it's getting harder to see what the stamps actually are, but it says congratulations, and it's a chalkboard, so it's the background is the dark colour and the light is the actual sentiment in the centre, so the background is the only part that picks up the ink when you use them. So we're going to need a base card. I'm using a 7 by 5 inch card, my favourite size, and it's just in ivory and it's plain. I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got a nice sharp edge along the crease. Bone folders are available from Anna Griffin's tool collection set if it's still available. I've used a handmade by stamp on the back, and I've added my name so that in years to come, if anybody received this card, they would know who'd made it, and hopefully they would keep it. I'd like to think so. So we're going to do our insert first. Now I'm going to be using the Damask paper collection, and it's the original Damask from earlier this year. And I'm using 2 tones of the Damask, and it's kind of like a dark grey and a light grey. Now, the insert is a really, I think, a really good way to use your scraps. These are 2 scraps that I have from the front of the card, because to be fair, normally I prep and create the front first and then go back and do the insert, unless I've got a really solid idea of an insert that I want to make. So for the front of the card, we've got a pattern section that I've cut away from a centre of one of the 7x5 layers that are in the Damask collection, and I've cut it away, and I had 2 edges left. So what I've done is I've cut them down to 1 1/4 inches for the pair of them. I've left them at 7 inches tall, and I've simply got flat tape on the back of them, and I'm going to add them just to the base of our card, just as they are. I haven't done anything else to them. I haven't got ink on them or anything, just flat tape on the back, and I'm adding them edge to edge of the card like so. So they run on the inside of the card. Next, I've taken a layer of ivory cardstock, and I've cut it down to roughly 6.5 by 4.5. Just enough to see the tips of the actual back of the cardstock. And then I've run a silver ink pad and silver heat embossing powder just on the edges, and I've got flat tape on the back. Now I've only done it on the top and the bottom edge for the embossing powder, something a little bit different. So you've just got that top and bottom, and I'm going to add this over our 2 pieces of Damask cardstock like that. And already that looks, you know, it looks pretty, it looks like an insert. However, this is where our chalkboard stamp comes in. So I've used a technique called repeat stamping. Now, I did this a few years ago on my blog, and it's one of the 31 tricks and techniques videos. And it shows you how to do the repeat stamping. We've also used it on different cards before where I've actually shown you the process. I haven't this time because it is literally just stamping the congratulations stamp once, twice, and then back. And then I've just simply trimmed down to the size of the actual stamped image. I've used Stays on Ink, and I've got flat tape on the back. I should say it's a black Stays on Ink. And I've cut the strips, and all I'm going to do is add the strip just to the edge of where the ivory insert is in the centre. And I've got a second one, and I've done exactly the same with this, where I've stamped it and then repeat stamped it, and I've still got the flat tape on the back. And I'm going to add it again just over the edge of the ivory. So those 2 strips sit along the edges. So you've got lots of room for your big message. Not quite an essay, but you know you've got a lot of room for your insert because your sentiments are down the sides. So you've got your to and from, wishing you the very best of days, blah, 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 blah. So You know, it's a good one for if you've got quite a bit to say. So now we can turn our attention to the front. I'm going to use my bone folder again, and I want to explain why I use it again. Because where I've gone up to the edge on the inside of the card, I've butted it up to where the score line is. So you can see how it's springing back open. I want to make sure that that is nice and sharp and will just sit nicely on a mantelpiece. So the inside has stretched it and the bone folder has taken it back to be nice and sharp. So the first layer for the outside of our card is from the Damask paper collection. It's the original one from earlier this year, and this is a grey toned paper and it's just so pretty. They all are, but I really do like this pattern. It's got a lot of snippability as this one. So I've got flat tape on the back of it. I've left it at a 7 by 5 inch size as far as I can remember. As soon as I said that, I thought, oh no, have I or haven't I? Have I? Yes, I have. I haven't trimmed it down. So we put it on our entire card front to cover the front of the card like that. Our next layer is our Ornate fretwork die that we've cut out. And I've used the silver satin cardstock from Anna Griffin. I've got 3D foam on the back of it. Now, through the centre, you can see some of my foam. Don't worry about that because that's going to be covered over. However, there's enough areas on the back of something like this that you can hide your foam. So it isn't a fact of, oh, there's nowhere for me to put 3D foam. There is a lot of places, and sometimes, you know, if you need to trim your foam down, trim it down a little bit. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to position this over the front of our card, and then I'm going to just press it down for that foam to take hold. Now next, this is where our mini fans come in. I've cut an ornate layer in the satin silver cardstock again, and I've embossed it to get that fine embossing detail. And the shadow layer, I've used one of the actual Damask cardstock sheets in a coordinating colour, and I've just got flat tape on the back of the shadow layer. So I'm going to add the shadow layer through the centre of our card like that, and I'm going to do the same for the opposite side. So I've die cut 2 shadow layers, again in coordinating cardstock, and add that roughly symmetrical, there we go, as roughly as it'll work. Now our next layer for the fans, I'm going to position over our shadow layer, and on the back of the fan I've actually got 3D foam around the edge, and then I've got a little piece of tape in the middle, because I want the middle section to sit flat, but I want the edges to be 3D. So, because that will help with our centre. So I can press that down. Now the centre of our card that I showed you earlier is the centre of one of the Damask pieces that I've just simply trimmed away, and I've just added 3D foam through the centre, and I can add this back through the centre. I want to try and get it the right way around actually, so we'll go with the way that I've used the base layer. So this is going to sit through the centre of our die cuts and our fans. Press that down, there we go, and you can see how we've got our layers coming together. Next, now because we've used the chalkboard rubber stamps in the centre, I've used one of the Artfully Said vellum stickers. I've added it to ivory cardstock, and then I've just got 3D foam on the back of it. And I'm simply going to pop that through the centre of our card like that. There we go. I've taken 2 of the flower stickers from the mini 120 flower stickers from Anna, and I'm going to add 1 of the stickers at the top, and then I'm going to add the second one underneath facing the opposite way like that. And then I've got 2 small silver bows, and I'm just going to add these at either side of our sentiment. Oops. And there we go for the second one. They were just on 3D foam. And that is our card finished. That's our inside and our outside, our gorgeous layers. And it's so pretty. I make a lot of gold cards, and I actually consciously thought I must use some with must make some with silver, because the silver is so beautiful. It stands up nicely, definitely a mantelpiece pleaser, something a little bit different. And look how the fans work through the centre, and they just add more interest to that gorgeous background. And the pattern of the damask just comes straight through from the back behind the fretwork. Such a pretty card. We'll go in a normal envelope. You don't have to add so many layers if you don't want. You could have it a little bit flatter. But I think that's gorgeous. Anybody would love that. I would. And I love the inside as well. Very different. Please check my blog for lots more photos. I shall take lots of them of the inside and the outside. There's so many more projects on there now. In fact, this is 552. I think I'll have mentioned that at the beginning. So there's another 551 to feast your eyes on. So let me know what you think. If this is your type of thing, if it's a nice easy card for you, please don't be overwhelmed. You know, I show you step by step, and I just hope that new crafters enjoy what I do as well as advanced crafters, and it just shows you, you know, different things to get out of your products and out of your stash. So I would just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.